So you know you're in Canberra, June, second week of June, 5 degrees. Anyway, so I'm gonna do a review of the rack and roll, but I cut, for some reason I messed up the commentary at the very beginning and at the very end. So I just want to add in a little commentary for that now. The rack and roll I ordered specifically for the trip up to Bow Desert and back, the one I did with Mal, and I did that because I just did not want to ride, I don't know how many Ks it is. It's quite a few. Is it more than 1,000? Couple thousand Ks there and back? I don't know what the number, I don't know. It's a lot, right? So from Canberra to Bow Desert, it's a lot. So I just didn't want to ride that with the knobbies and just burn out brand new tires for no reason. And it just, at the same time, I was kind of going up and back, and I didn't want to, I just thought it would be a lot easier on the body to chuck the bike on the back, ride up there and do that. And then at the same time, we decided, because we had the option with the rack and roll going on the back of the Prado, that then the family could actually go along on that trip, which was awesome, because then they went off and they went to the beach and they did all their stuff. So I think that's one really cool thing about the rack and roll, and something that is important for me, just my own stuff with adventure biking. I don't like to just leave the family for like weeks at a time, right? And this is a really cool way for you to actually kind of blend the two things. So you can still take your family, you can put the bike on there, you can listen to the kids screaming and going crazy and trying to jump out the window. And then when you've had enough of that, you can pull over, and then you can get on the bike and you can just let the wife, you know, or your partner or whatever, finish the drive, and then that's, you know, you can just tune out. So anyway, that's the reason I got the rack and roll. Not necessarily that product, but that's the reason why I wanted to get the ramp for the back of the Prado. So anyway, I just wanted to add that commentary and sort of why I did that, and then also, again, why I went with that product. It had awesome reviews. I spoke to Mal before, and he's like, yeah, that's sort of the top of the line one. And for me, I'm not planning on keeping this bike forever, right? I'm gonna get a different bike, whether it's a Tenere or something else, like, I don't know, but it's probably gonna be heavier. So I could have went with the lighter model. I could have went with there's like a, I don't know what it's called, like an MX type one, that actually the DR would meet the weight restriction of that one. But as soon as I upgrade the bike, well, then that's obviously not going to work. And I didn't want to have to buy this twice. I wanted to get one. I wanted to do it right the first time, and then I wanted it to last for whatever bike I get next. And the cool thing about this one is you can actually put a large adventure bike on the back. Not that I would necessarily be doing that, but you have the option to do that because of the weight. This is the adventure bike model. So anyway, yeah, check out my review. You can see me kind of putting it together. I go through the putting it together. No, actually, I don't put it together. I go through the parts and kind of my initial impressions of that. Then I actually fit the carrier to the back of the Prado, talk about how long it took. And then after the trip, I kind of give my thoughts on how well it performed on the road and kind of getting the bike on and off and that sort of stuff. And then I'll kind of come back and I'll just give a little bit of closing commentary. But anyway, enjoyed the review, and I hope it helps. I wasn't gonna make a video of this because you'd be surprised. I'm meant to leave in a couple hours to head to Sydney, and then I'm going to leave from Sydney up north to Queensland to meet Old Man Speed, Mal. Now, I decided I'm not going to ride my bike. I'm going to put my bike on a platform. So what I ended up getting was the rack and roll platform. The only reason I bought it was because it was the most expensive one I could find. I look at the dollar sign, and if I see one that has like $5 signs, that's usually the one I order. This one was, I think it was like $13 signs, and that's why I got this one. Anyway, I was just going to start putting it on, and then I opened this thing up. Well, actually, I rang Mal, and I told him, look, I probably am not going to be able to come because I opened up the box, and it looks like it's going to be too hard for me. And he said, mate, he said, if you can assemble an IKEA chair, he's like, you should be good to assemble this. I feel like he, again, probably he's maybe a little bit like overly optimistic about what I'm able to do. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, look at what's going on with the parts here. So I've got a whole bunch of bolts and some like shackle things. I got some bar things. I think that piece over there is like the main part that the bike drives on. and then I got this ramp over here. So anyway, I was like, I'm definitely not going to film the whole thing because I actually got to get moving. But I wanted to show you what it looks like, and then once I get it on the Prado, I'll show you with this thing on the Prado. And I seriously hope this doesn't take me 5 hours to put together. Anyway, I will say, man, the quality of this stuff looks absolutely amazing. Like, this is not cheap Chinese crap, and I don't have any issue with Chinese stuff unless it's crap. Okay, but this stuff looks like it's actually really nice. The welds are, I actually do know how to weld. The welds are legit. They're nice welds. The powder coating is nice. The quality is good. It feels like it's really good quality. Now the question is, how hard is it going to be to assemble? Anyway, so I'll put this thing together. I'll throw it on there, and then I'll see. Hopefully this doesn't take me an hour. Anyway, let's have a crack. Bits and pieces. Bar things. There's the ramp. No, sorry, that's the actual platform itself there. And then here's the ramp. And then here is the bike. Mr. Contagious. That's a terrible name for a motorcycle. That took me 3 hours. I did stop because a mate popped by for a few minutes. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he was talking to me for about 30 minutes. So while I was working on this, I was kind of chatting to a mate, but yeah, it was about 3 hours. And I actually had to pull it back off because there's this little plastic piece that goes around, I don't know, where the thing plugs in, where the main bar plugs in to the toe area. And yeah, so then I had to pull the thing back off, pop that piece off, and then put everything back in, which just added extra time. Lights took a few minutes because you got to wire up the plug base. But yeah, so 3 hours, it's done. And then I didn't have any, what are they called? You know, those ratchet straps. I didn't have any ratchet straps. So my wife just ran to Bunnings to grab some ratchet straps. So it looks like I need, I think, 2 for here. This might work. The guy, I think, said that might reach the peg, the little D-link thing. But I just grabbed it anyway. So there'll be 2 there on either side, and then 1 on the front. Anyway, look, it wasn't hard per se, just time consuming. But now it's all assembled. So I think next time, obviously that should just slide in and out. And I just used my stool. I put my stool underneath it just to take the weight, which was perfect height. Anyway, okay, next thing is I gotta load up my gear and then load up the bike. Hopefully it's not too painful. Anyway, I definitely wasn't planning on spending 3 hours putting that together, but whatever, is what it is. All right, let's go. So this rack was absolutely, this rack was absolutely amazing. The rack has been so good. Ended up being with, I got the ramp and the extra shipping. I rang the guys at Racknroll. I talked to Leroy, told him my situation. This was on a Monday. He's like, mate, I can get it there on Wednesday. I picked it up from the depot. They rang me Wednesday night. I just couldn't get there Wednesday night. So I got over there Thursday, picked the rack up Thursday, and then of course I assembled it Friday, which you would have seen. I think I haven't edited. I haven't looked at any of my stuff yet. I literally just got back, but I'll probably include that. So the rack itself is amazing. I got the ramp. Everything cost $2,100. It holds the bike perfectly. Literally no issues at all. It was an awesome experience. There's some shims in there to reduce the swaying. It was solid. It was stable. No issues at all holding the bike. Yeah, absolutely amazing. So good. I'm so glad I got it. Anyway, it's pouring rain, so I'm not going to stand out here too long, but I just wanted to show you the rack. Really happy with that. Up to Bow Desert and back. And I'm so happy that I opted to get this. I think with most things, you get what you pay for. With most things, right? And I feel like this is a very high quality product. It's awesome. All right, so I messed up the end of the review, so I cut that off. But I just want to kind of say, and I hit this a few times, the importance of, at least in my mind anyway, getting a better quality product. Like I could have gotten something that was a lot cheaper, but I just didn't want to be, especially with putting the bike on the back, the risks associated with something like that. I just did not want a product that I'm sure was okay, but just a little bit sus in my mind. I wanted a top quality product that had zero issues, that had a ton of reviews and a great following. That's why I went with that product. And again, it kind of in my mind, it's just, yeah, you pretty much get what you pay for most of the time, not always, but generally you buy better quality stuff because it should last longer. And the thing about it is, if it doesn't last longer, generally that company stands behind you. And Leroy, what was interesting about Leroy is there was one issue they had, and I think this is in the whole time they've been producing this, and it was actually maybe a month or something after I bought the rack and roll. He said, look, we're sending out some extra pieces just because one of our customers had a concern, and they sent out some components just to make sure that there is no issue whatsoever. And that's just rocked up. Like he just said, hey, here's the extra parts. And I think, again, this is about a company that stands behind their product. I did not get a discount. I paid full price for this. I didn't get any promo. I don't know these guys. There's no personal connection. I just looked them up. They had awesome reviews, and that's why I bought the product. But anyway, yeah, I really, really like it, really happy with it, and I hope that review helps you. And if you're weighing out which product you want to get into, I don't know, maybe this is the one for you, and if not, that's totally cool too, but hopefully it helps you either way. Anyway, the sun's coming out, so I'm gonna get changed, and I'm actually headed out to the Brindabellas here in like the next hour or so. So anyway, hey, who knows, maybe I'll see you guys out there on the trail. Get hard, stay hard. We'll see you next time.